So this is gonna be for two kinds of people. The first kind of person that this video is gonna be for is somebody in my position, somebody that maybe there's somebody near and dear to you that has turned away from God, and you're kind of just dealing with the frustrations that come along with that. I just want to just be able to speak to you, speak to that situation, and number one, make you feel heard, make you not feel alone in this, and also to encourage you. Second group of people would be those who find themselves in a position where maybe they don't want to do this God thing anymore. Maybe they're finding it to be seemingly more enjoyable, seemingly more smooth, easy to do things without Him. First thing I want to talk about is Ecclesiastes chapter 2. And in this, the author writes about the pleasures of life. And essentially, in this chapter, he achieves everything, you know, all that the world has to offer. Think about Elon Musk, super successful, super smart. Like he did it all. He had it all. He tried it all. In the end, I love what it says. It says that everything was meaningless. Now that doesn't mean that your passions and your desires, it doesn't mean that is meaningless. What it does mean is that chasing after those, prioritizing those things is meaningless. And the author writes that it is like chasing after the wind. You'll feel the wind, you'll feel it come, but you can never grasp it. You will never be able to grasp the wind, because there is no grasping the wind. And in the same way, we can sit here and chase after pleasure. We can chase after our heart's desires, you know, the gifts and talents that, yes, God has given us. But if we are simply chasing that in the way that we want to express those things, and not the way that He has intended for us to express those talents, those gifts, those passions, then we are essentially chasing the wind. It's meaningless. The Bible also says that there's a way that seems right, but ultimately leads to destruction. It may seem right in your head. For example, let's say baseball is your thing, right? Baseball is your passion. You love baseball. You want to make it to the MLB, and in your head, you know, maybe you're a Christian and you're thinking, oh, when I get there, like, I'm going to do it for His glory, which is possible. Definitely. I'm not saying that's not possible. But maybe God doesn't want that for you. Maybe God doesn't want you to reach that stage, because He knows what'll happen with you if you receive a $10 million contract. So instead, you have that same desire to use baseball to glorify God. So instead, maybe you coach a little league team. Maybe you have a men's group that meets up, and you use that to reach people, to love on people. And because of your passion, somebody's friend, somebody's brother gets saved that they've been praying for the longest, but you decided to lead that little league team, or you decided to start that men's group. And because they also had a passion for baseball, they came and they found Christ because of your passion and obedience. Now, had that person did it their own way, forced it their own way, it would not be the same outcome. A part of life, a part of our desires, a part of our passions is realizing that the way that we envision and want it may not be the way that we need it. And that's okay, because it will be far more fulfilling for us when we can do it God's way. God's not going to God did not give you that passion for no reason. He's not just going to give you a passion or a desire to put it up on the shelf and never touch it. But He's giving you that as a tool. He's giving you that for His will. Whatever it is that God needs you to use that gift, that passion, that desire for, it will be used in that way. so long as you let him. I know it's not easy, you know, to lay down these desires and these passions, because you so badly want things a certain way. You want things to work out your own way, and you feel like, hey, this way is not even bad, honestly. This way is not sinful. So no, I don't want to lay this down. I don't want to give this up. But there's a fine line between what is permissible by God and what is perfect in God. There's a lot of things that are permissible that we can do and we can strive for, but the end result will never be as good as what is perfect in his will. Don't settle for his permissible will. That is so less than. You're settling for less than when you settle for his permissible will. I think one reason that a lot of people find themselves in a position to where they are walking away from God is because they just flat out get tired. They get fatigued. And there's a verse, what is it in? I want to say it's in James chapter 4, between verses 4 and 11, I believe, that says to resist the devil and he will flee. Right? We are to run from temptations. But I think that's where people get it messed up. They run, and then they run, and they run, and they run, and they're never running towards something. They're simply running away from something. And you cannot physically or spiritually run forever. You have to find rest in his presence. You have to find rest in God. You have to find safety in God. Think about it like this. There's a bear outside your house. You're outside the house. Obviously, you're going to want to run from that, right? And instead of you running into the house where you know you will be safe, you just run in circles around the house. Yeah, for a little while, you'll be fine. But eventually, you'll get tired, and eventually, you'll succumb to the bear. In the same way, when we run from temptation, when we run from sin, when we resist the devil, but we're not running towards God, eventually we will give in and let it overtake us. You know, for those that are finding themselves in this position where you found yourself overtaken, you found yourself burnt out by religion, I'm here to tell you that there is rest in the name of Jesus. There is rest in God's house. There is rest for his children. All you have to do is run to him. Don't run away to something else. Don't try to fill the void or prolong anything by trying to do what is permissible. I'm a big advocate for, you know, working on yourself. You know, things like self-help books, therapy. I'm a big advocate for it. But if you're just doing all of those things and you're not running towards God, you'll never find it. You'll never find it. Everything here that we have, everything that we have access to on this earth, every desire, every passion, everything that is of this earth, everything that is of the world, when we die, means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why are we gonna give our lives to a passion or a desire when we can't take it with us? When we die, so does that passion, so does that desire. It's done. That's it. There's no taking it with us. And it was all for nothing. It was chasing the wind. Everything for nothing. You gave your life up. You gave up God for something that is temporary. And I don't mean to say that in a harsh way. I mean that in a way where maybe you can sit and think about what it is that you have been chasing and why it is that you decided that that's more valuable than God. There's only two things that we can take with us after we die. And that is our soul, and that is other people's souls. And that is what we are here for. I don't care about any passions or desires. I can't take them with me. But I could take that friend with me. I could take your brother with me. You could take your sister with you. You could take your mom with you. You could take your dad with you. You can't take your passion with you. You can't take pleasure. You can't take desires with you. It ends here. It starts here and it ends here. That's it. For the person that is in my position, or maybe you're hurting because you're watching someone give their life to something that is meaningless. I want to be real with you. It hurts. It does. And that hurt that you feel, don't forget it. Don't let that fight go away, because you can take them with you. I'm not saying that to say that you are going to be the one that's going to lead them back to Christ and you are going to save them. That's not what I'm saying. At the end of the day, we all have free will, and all that we can do is love on one another and invite His Spirit to do His work. That's it. But the moment you give up, you look like everybody else. And thank God that Jesus did not give up on us. You know, it says that while we were sinners, He died for us. Not after we got saved, then he died for us. No, while we shamed Him, while we put down His name, while we put Him up on a cross, while we tortured and abused Him, He died for us. So I think at the very least, for that person that you say you care about and you say you love, while they are struggling, right? That's what we'll call it. I don't want to speak life to, oh, they're lost or they're whatever. No, while they're struggling, while they're in this season, we can show love. We can show that patience. We can show that grace. And we can pray like we've never prayed before. And we can trust that God, and in His timing, will show up. We can trust that when we prepare the way, when we invite Him in, He will show up. There's times where I get a bit frustrated because God is a gentleman and He will not force Himself in. And situations like this, you know, where you just see like, man, God, if you could just reveal Yourself and speak to them in visions and in dreams and just show them how present You are. That's all you want. You want God to intervene. But this is where faith comes in. Even if we are not seeing the fruits of our labor, you know, of our prayers, of the love that we give, even if we're not seeing the fruit, we have faith that God is still making a way. We have faith that God is still working. We have faith that they are still in His hands. We have faith that His plans are not revoked. So I want to leave you guys with this. For the person that finds themselves struggling, the person that maybe this is the last chance, you're telling yourself this is God's last chance, or maybe you've tasted and seen and thought the world is better, the world is easier. I want to invite you, I would like to implore you to sit, walk into his throne room, walk into his home where there is safety, because you don't have to run forever. Allow him to embrace you, and allow him to redirect you. For the person that is praying for somebody, that is fighting for somebody, make sure that you're not burning yourself out on this. Make sure that you're not building up bitterness with God about this. This is not God's doing, right? This is because we live in a sinful world. And unfortunately, things like this happen. So what we can do is we can find rest in him. We can trust and believe that he will come through. And we can speak it that they will be saved and they will be brought back in Jesus' name.